Bakhodur Usmonov, such an accomplished operator in all forms of boxing.
本场比赛，我们的黑方选手26岁，身高1.74米，职业战绩8战，职业战绩83战，是2019年亚洲洲际拳击冠军，也是塔吉克斯坦国内多项全国冠军头衔的持有者。Вечерний углу ринга, боец из Таджикистана, дамы и господа. Встречайте, Bakhodur Usmonov. 红方的选手，25岁，身高1.76米，职业战绩8战5胜，来自中国。让我们欢迎红方王乐全。And when action begins, our referee in charge, Veronica, shoot.
Watch your head up. No holding, no blow. Shake hands. Good luck.
So Ms. Veronica Zux of Hungary with the final instructions, the third person in the ring as our referee in the 63.5 kilogram contest. And we are underway then, 6 3-minute rounds in the 63.5 kilogram light welterweight division. It's a contest between boxers from Tajikistan and China. The orthodox boxer wearing the predominantly black trunks trimmed with red, just seen trying to ghost around the clock face to appear on the other side of his opponent, is Bakhodur Usmonov, 2019 Asian champion, the current World Championship bronze medalist from the event at the Humo Arena in Tashkent, Uzbekistan last spring. I was there to commentate on that, as I was at his 2 Olympic appearances. And in IBA Champions Night boxing in his home city of Dushanbe, I was there to see him prevail in a terrific display against Javid Chalabayev in February of this year. His opponent, the southpaw wearing red, who has just been picked off by a beautiful counter jab after his lead right jab fell short, is Wang Lequan. Hard punching individual out of that southpaw stance, with 5 of his 8 victories in the professional ranks coming inside the distance. But Usmonov, such a terrific operator, so composed up in the boxing ring. And look at him vary the height of that jab. Looking for the reverse 1-2 out of the southpaw stance was Wang. But Usmonov possesses such an educated lead left hand, even if he's not landing with it, as was the case on his previous jabs that were flicked out. He's seeking to blind his opponent with it, keep him busy, and just keep him off balance. Roundhouse right, followed by a beautiful left hook landed at mid-range from Usmonov, got Wang's attention. And Wang proving that he's plenty competitive, but Usmonov just keeping him off balance with those feints with his feet and with his hands and with his eyes, and in the meantime he's just continuing to flick out an irritant of a lead left jab. Beautiful combination, my goodness. Right hand to the body, left hook to the head, right hand to the head, and again jabbing to the body. Bolo shot driven in just above the belt line from Usmonov, who has found his range immediately. And it's almost perpetual motion from Usmonov, even though some of them are subtle, always seeking to keep as another bolo right hand driven into the body, counter left hand in response from Wang. And terrific skills being showcased by both boxers, but with 30 seconds remaining, for my money, it is Usmonov who's enjoying the better of this opening round. Beautiful left jab upstairs once again, counter left cross attempted by Wang. Reverse 1-2, right cross, left hook, and then a good right hand to the body in response from Wang. But getting the better of that exchange was Usmonov, the man in black from Tajikistan. What an opening round, my goodness. Setting his pace at his desired level was Bakhodur Usmonov, the man over in the black corner. Wang competitive, but for what it's worth, I think that this man did enough to take the opening round. Scheduled for 6 threes, remember, and that a distance that will hold no fears for either of these professionals, with Wang having already been 10 rounds, one of his 2 professional losses, and Usmonov has completed the 8-round distance in the pro ranks. Beautiful left hook off the back foot, and again, nice movement in the pocket, followed by a counter left hook, but he was picked off by a right hook in response from Wang. But the activity and the variety, as he found his range almost immediately, was demonstrated by Usmonov, was impressive in that opening round.
Box.
So moving to the second round then. Usmonov operating out of a wide-legged stance, trying to keep his lead left foot outside the southpaw lead right foot of Wang. And Wang will be trying to do the same thing, of course, to set up that backhand and control the distance laterally to Usmonov's left. Beautiful counter right jab from Wang. Usmonov just seeking to impose pressure by edging forwards incrementally. Beautiful punch picking on the inside in the form of hooks from Usmonov. Counter, a lead right hand from Usmonov, triggering off that exchange. And look at the accuracy on that. Left jab, right cross, followed by an uppercut from Usmonov. Not putting much on the punches, but they're point-scoring shots, snapping the head back of Wang. Wang looking for the southpaw left, and then does land with a heavy backhand to the body out of the southpaw stance. That's a beautiful right hook, my goodness. Sunk in beneath the short ribs on the left flank of Usmonov, then brings the left hand to the body into play, but before that, he was just being touched up by straight shot successes from Usmonov. Looking for another heavy hook to the body is Wang, but look at how Usmonov is able to move around his opponent. Subtle moves on the inside with his feet to just move around the clock face. Good left hand driven into the body from Wang, but you can see from the reddening of his face, particularly around his right cheek and eye, how effective that lead left jab has been from the current World Championship bronze medalist. Beautiful double hooked by Usmonov, body then head. Left hand driven into the body from Wang. But again, the greater volume coming from the man in black. And again, the jab and then a 3-shot combination. Jab, right uppercut, left hook from Usmonov. And he's being hit so often that I just wonder whether the energy levels of Wang are being depleted here. You saw him have to voluntarily back up just to try and get himself back together. Beautiful 2-shot combination from Wang. There he sinks in a hard right hand to the body once again. But in the meantime, in between his heavier single shots, he is being scored upon repeatedly as Bakhodur Usmonov doing his best Joe Calzaghe impression. Here's a beautiful lead right hand from Wang, but then made his man miss and then made him pay. He really is going through the gears very well indeed and scoring effectively both upstairs and downstairs is Bakhodur Usmonov. And he is plenty tough, is Wang, because he is still in there competing. But look at the manner in which he's being scored upon. And the left hand of Usmonov, a really effective weapon indeed. What a round of boxing, my goodness. I think Wang was in it, but I just don't think he's done enough to win it. 2 rounds completed, and for my money, Bakhodur Usmonov has taken both of them. But remember, we have judges seated around the boxing ring using the 10-point must system as we prepare for the 3rd round of this contest, scheduled for 6. Some of the action from round number 2. Good movement in the pocket from Usmonov. Did target the body well, did Wang. But terrific volume. And on occasions, it was punches in bunches from Usmonov. And in between his bursts, that's when Wang would look to get to work. with some heavier artillery, particularly to the body. So we move into the third round of this 63.5 kilogram light welterweight contest. It's scheduled for 6. Thrusting left jab scored to the body from Usmonov, and then a beautiful counter right hand upstairs behind his left jab. As Wang trying to work his way inside. But look at Usmonov attempting to step around the target once again after he was inaccurate with that right cross. And the movement of the feet from Usmonov is just rendering Wang's shots to fall short. Wang busy with his lead right hand, seeking to parry with it, but a double left hand got over his low-held right after he attempted to block something that wasn't there. Well, it's a terrific atmosphere on hand here at the National Indoor Stadium in Beijing. And Wang reduced to single phase attacks here. There we let a combination go, but it's a big swing and a miss. And then in between, as he seeks to reset his feet and load up on the punches perhaps, well, this is how Usmonov is going to work, touching him up with straight punches to both head and body. And the face of Wang beginning to take on the tint of a tomato here now, because look at that, pieced up with a two-shot combination once again. Shaking his head contemptuously, but these are point-scoring punches being produced by the 2019 Asian champion. Good shot to the body from Wang, got the attention of Usmonov, but Usmonov keeping his wits about him, moving his head effectively in the pocket. Wang being backed up on occasion here now. See, taking up residence near the ropes, trying a right-left combination out of that southpaw stance. But the activity and the accuracy of Bakhodur Usmonov making this a very difficult mission indeed for the southpaw in black, for the southpaw in red. So just under a minute remaining in this third round. Good backhand, not too far away from Wang. The heads came together before that, and that a fairly common occurrence when orthodox and southpaw boxers are sharing the ring. As Usmonov continuing to bob and weave nicely in the pocket, varying his height to present an elusive target to Wang. And again, Wang rendered inaccurate and then touched up by a double left hook once again, as Usmonov springing up out of a couch, changing the angle on his man impressively. Left hand down the pipe from Wang, but that his only success, and he was hit with about 8 punches either side of that single shot success. Scored upon to the body and then a left hook to the head from Usmonov. Counter punching once again, and Wang just tottering because he was planting his feet, seeking to score on Usmonov, but Usmonov had ghosted around the clock face, leaving Wang punching at air. This is a beautiful performance from Bakhodur Usmonov, and he's leaving Wang Lequan at times chasing shadows. 3 rounds completed, and on my card, I've scored all of them in favor of Bakhodur Usmonov. So both men being tended to in their respective corners. There was a rather forceful clash of heads in the final third of the third round, final minute of that third frame. But Bakhodur Usmonov, his punch output and his accuracy, very impressive indeed. So into the second half of this 63.5 kilogram contest. 3 rounds completed, a scheduled 3 rounds to go. Right hand driven into the body from Usmonov, and now trying to present a more elusive target by bobbing and weaving from the waist is Wang. But look at the variety on that lead left hand. Sometimes it's a long hook, sometimes it's a short hook. There's a jab followed by a long hook, and then continuing to give his man angles is Bakhodur Usmonov. Left cross not too far away from Wang, but again, there's single phase attacks, often single shot attacks And for a boxer as experienced and accomplished as Bakhodur Usmonov, who is switched on and locked in tonight, while he's dealing with these pretty effectively. As Wang tries a right jab, but he's scored upon twice once again. Oh, beautiful counter left hook to the body from Usmonov. Head movement to avoid the incoming fire, and then a left hook to the head from Usmonov, making his man miss and then making him pay, perfecting that fistic equation and epitomizing the noble art of self-defense, hitting without getting hit. He must be a really difficult opponent to face, Bakhodur Usmonov. His expression seldom changes. Look at that, double left hook, body then head. And Wang simply not able to find a home for his punches on a consistent basis. As Wang came forwards, Bakhodur Usmonov maintained the gap between them by backing up, and then he's got the quickness of thought and foot and hand after making his man miss to counter, and then ghosted around him. Wang intelligently seeking to target the body, because he's finding the head of Bakhodur Usmonov very difficult to catch, but no such difficulty for Usmonov, scoring with right hooks to the body, left hooks to the head, as he catches his man with another left hook. And Wang, well, his competitive spirit is impressive indeed, because he's being outboxed considerably here by Bakhodur Usmonov. All of the skills that carried him to the World Championship podium at the Humo Arena in Tashkent last year on display here in the longer format of IBA Kunlun Fight World Cup fight action. Counter left hook again after making his man miss. Two-shot salvo between the defenses of Wang. Solid left jab, pistoned out by Wang, but then he takes a thrusting left hand to the body, backed up towards his own corner. Left cross not too far away from Wang after he was put on the end of a stiff left jab, but look at that, 3 punches in a flash from Bakhodur Usmonov. And Wang Lequan is being exposed to a higher level of boxing than he has perhaps experienced to this point in his career tonight. And that is the accomplishment that the top operators from the world of IBA 3-round boxing bring to the ring. So much experience acquired over the years, such a variety of styles one has to encounter to be crowned a continental champion or world championship medalist, and indeed to qualify for the Olympics, and all of that know-how. Because quite frankly, when you get to that level, there's nothing that you haven't seen. And that is what Wang is being exposed to tonight. 3 feather-light punches followed by another counter left jab for good measure, all of them scoring shots. And it must be like boxing amongst a swarm of bees at times for Wang Lequan. So into the penultimate round. And again, for what it's worth, the 4 completed rounds on my card have all been scored in favor of Bakhodur Usmonov. That can often be an irrelevance, of course, and of course that can be rendered irrelevant if Wang could uncork a finishing single shot or combination. There he scores with a good left hand to the body and then targeting the body but landing on the belt line once again. So Wang enjoying a good portion of the contest by going downstairs, but seeking to set his feet in the canvas now and really go after his man is Bakhodur Usmonov, and having scored upon him so readily, so repeatedly, perhaps he's seeking to get his man out of there now, because he's picked up the tempo and he has entered stalking mode, walking his man down, pinning him to the perimeter of the boxing ring and really testing his conditioning and his commitment. Look at those punches around the rear of the gloves of Wang from Bakhodur Usmonov. There's a single left hook, and Wang being pushed not just to the perimeter of the ring, but the periphery of this contest here in round number 5. Did target the body effectively at the start of the round. There he scores with a single jab twice in quick succession. Good shot to the body from Wang. And if Bakhodur Usmonov is trying to discourage him and deplete his energy levels to the point where he's just a standing target, well, Wang is showcasing him with his toughness that he's not going to have it all his own way, but then hooks to both body and head as Bakhodur Usmonov continues to go through the gears beautifully here, piercing his man's defenses with precise punches from both flanks. It has been a non-stop assault that has lasted for about a minute from Bakhodur Usmonov. Credit to Wang Lequan, because he is still in there competing and showing Bakhodur Usmonov that he remains up for the fight. But he has been scored upon almost incessantly here in round number 5 by Bakhodur Usmonov. And again, so much leather coming in his direction from the black encased fists of Bakhodur Usmonov. And again, must feel as though he's surrounded at times. Hooks and uppercuts scoring effectively from Bakhodur Usmonov. Just trying to gain some respite and get his senses together, get his thoughts together is Wang Lequan. But Bakhodur Usmonov not allowing him that as he scores with a pecking right cross followed by a two-piece combination to the body, and then back scoring freely with the left hand once again. It's been a magnificent exhibition of punch picking and accuracy in this 5th round. The 10-second clapper has sounded, and when the bell sounds, it will be some sanctuary sought in the red corner. My goodness, that was a blistering round of boxing produced by Bakhodur Usmonov, and credit to the toughness demonstrated by Wang Lequan. Well, Bakhodur Usmonov was scored upon effectively to the body by Wang Lequan at the start of that 5th round. But Bakhodur Usmonov came from his black corner, seemingly on a mission to increase the tempo. And after the early successes of Wang to his body, he really did set about his man with an unrelenting attack that was incredibly accurate, and he was scoring beautifully for the majority of that 5th round. So into the 6th round we go then. And Bakhodur Usmonov, how will he approach this 6th and final stanza? Really went through the gears in the 5th round, and Usmonov just saying to his man, listen, keep the punches up. Wang not interested in engaging in any non-verbal communication. And Wang, again, testament to the man's toughness and fighting spirit, because he's being outscored. He's been outscored heavily during the course of this contest, but he is still in there competing. And that is one of the beautiful things about our beloved sport of boxing. In no other sport can you be trailing by the margin by which Wang must be trailing and still be in with a realistic shot of victory as long as you remain in the contest. If you're down, this is probably the equivalent of a 4-5-0 deficit in football, a 20-point deficit in basketball with a couple of minutes remaining. And while such things can happen, they're incredibly rare and highly improbable. But boxing, one single shot can turn everything that's preceded it completely on its head. And so as long as the opponent is on his feet, they remain a danger and a threat. Bakhodur Usmonov will be well aware of that. He won't want to get too greedy, and credit must be issued in Wang's direction once again. But look at his head jolted back by these straight punches from Usmonov. This has been a terrific performance of punch picking and variety, fight IQ and skill showcased by Bakhodur Usmonov. And he will know that he's just got to avoid running on to a finishing shot from Usmonov. You saw him momentarily shake out his hands because he has hit Wang Lequan repeatedly tonight. Now those shots dug into the body with the left hand. Referee Veronica Zux calling stop and reminding Wang of his responsibility to keep his punches up. But what a performance of concentration and variety, because Wang has been hit with every punch in the book from the fist of the World Championship bronze medalist. When I was in Dushanbe at the start of the year to commentate on his IBA Champions Night triumph over Javid Chabalayev. Well, let me tell you, this man is a superstar in his homeland. Wang is a popular fighter right here in his backyard, but his fans haven't had much to cheer about tonight in terms of pugilistic success, because Bakhodur Usmonov has boxed beautifully over the course of that contest. So, I think that this contest is over. 6 rounds completed, but the manner in which Wang Lequan sat down, it seemed as though he was preparing to come out and answer the bell for round number 7. But all 4 contests scheduled in this inaugural IBA Kunlun Fight World Cup are scheduled for 6 3-minute rounds. And perhaps the corner team was so concentrated on what was taking place in the ring that they lost count of the number of rounds that had occurred in the roped arena. Well, those hands could well be pretty sore once these gloves are removed, because Bakhodur Usmonov hit Wang Lequan an awful lot tonight. Really seemed to step it up in the 5th round as though was going for a finish, but credit to Wang Lequan, he had a sense of permanence about him and made it through to the final bell.
来吧，现场的朋友们，我们再一次给我们的双方运动员加加油，尤其是给我们的中国运动员加加油！
哇哦！经过了6个回合的大战，这场比赛结果已经出来。And after 6 rounds of big fight, now here we have the results. According to our judges, this bout by unanimous decision， 本场比赛一致性裁定 ，Your winner by 比赛结果。 黑方胜 the black corner.
So Bakhodur Usmonov declared a unanimous points decision victor over the incredibly game Wang Lequan of China.
Now we have with us
fantastic performance
our venerable
by the
guest
2019 Asian champion.
The award, Mr. Chris Roberts,
and all of
the
his
Secretary
skills
General
were
and
showcased
CEO
beautifully
of
here tonight
International Boxing
in the
Association.
National Indoor Stadium in
有请 IBA
Beijing.
的 CEO 为我们的拳手颁奖。
Presentations made by the IBA Secretary General and Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Chris Roberts, OBE. Check of $10,000 for the man who has been conquered tonight, but for the victor, Bakhodur Usmonov, a purse of $20,000 US. Prize money.
Brothers, raise
after
your
that
bonus.
performance.
今天晚上所有的比赛，胜者将获得2万美元。那么输掉比赛也仍然获得了1万美元的奖励。
Respect evident between the two boxers
获胜的选手
as they pose for
感谢我们
photographers.
的颁奖嘉宾。
Beautiful display of boxing indeed, produced by Bakhodur
感谢大家
Usmonov.
精彩的表现。
Continuing the momentum
Thank you, Chris.
in his professional career, be it IBA professional boxing.
借下场比赛开始之前，
Here on this
兄弟我
IBA
现
Kunlun
场给
Fight
大
World
家
Cup 8-0 in
小
the
小的
pro
科普一
ranks.
下。
Remember,
这刚才我坐在这里呢，
he
听见
made
后
his
面有人在
debut
问，
back in December
说这
of
个
2020.
拳击怎么打了这么
But
长
that
时
is the
间？
era in which we're in.
踢拳
Boxers can
怎么一会儿
move
就完事儿？
between the three-round
有没有人
format
现
of
场有这种
IBA and Olympic boxing and the professional ranks. And Bakhodur Usmonov, over the course of this contest, showcased all of his skill against the southpaw Wang Lequan of China, who packed a fair punch himself. His work to the body was impressive, particularly at the start of round 5, but that was the contest in microcosm. The flashing fists of Bakhodur Usmonov must have left Wang Lequan feeling as though he was boxing in a blizzard at times, because it was a hail of leather being hurled in his direction. It was invariably accurate, and that is how Bakhodur Usmonov boxed his way to a unanimous point.